Guys, how we doing? I'm Ryan Mack. Welcome back to Trading Guys. Finally getting to do my fundamental weekly review. Last week I was in the Hurt Locker. I didn't have the flu or anything, but I just had some crazy chest infection. I had zero energy and I just kept coughing up loads of shit non-stop. It was absolutely brutal, so hence I couldn't do it. However, this week we are going to fly through. I'll do the markups. Sorry if it's a bit messy. There's been so many, different markups. But we'll go through the markups first of all, quickly, see if there's anything to take potentially this week based on technicals, and then we'll quickly jump onto the fundamentals. I'm going to fly through the fundamentals tonight because one thing I've noticed is the currency strengths and the kind of, it's still January, right? So nothing's really pushing the kind of demographics to be different, nothing's really molding the economics to be different apart from the market sentiment, which is risk on, risk off, right? So every time, and just to kind of cut back on myself there, every time Trump fucking makes a comment, markets jump from risk on to risk off. 1 minute he's saying we're going to invade Greenland, markets go to risk off, so people basically remove their money from USD and they put it into safe havens, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, gold, and so on. Excuse me. And then the next minute he'll be at Davos like, no, we're not going to invade Greenland. Like we want a deal, and then we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Our employment's up, this is up, and then you'll start to see money flowing back into USD, and then it'll start flowing back out. So it's all really based on Trump talking shit right now is what's making the markets move into risk on, risk off, right? So, I already mentioned this in the video 2 weeks ago, like when I was saying, for example, if Japanese yen is weak, I'm like, look, it's weak economically. However, if you see it gaining strength, don't think, oh, he said it was weak, why is it going strong? I already explained, right? I says you will potentially, if markets go to risk off, you'll potentially see Japanese yen looking strong against, other economies which are stronger, and you'll be like, how is that? If that's economy stronger than that, then why is that coming down? It doesn't make sense. It's because of market sentiment, right? Risk on, risk off. Just remember, if you're ever, excuse me, I've still got about 10% of this cough. If you're ever thinking, God, how do I know if it's risk on or risk off, right? Which is, it's going to be an obvious question for you if you're sitting at home alone and you don't have a mentor to ask these questions to. Markets are pretty much 98% risk on, right? Everybody wants to take risk in the markets because that's where you make money. But if something's happening geopolitically, if Trump's like, right, we're going to hit this country, or we're going to start hitting Iran. So if you wake up in the morning and there's fucking news, there's all these US Marine helicopters going in, or Trump sending fucking rockets in to blow up specific targets in Iran, that's risk off right away because people are going to go, oh shit, right? If there's uncertainty in the world and people are like, what the fuck's going to happen next, right? That's uncertainty. If there's uncertainty in the world, then there's uncertainty in the markets, which makes it risk off. People want to take the risk off of the table, right? And they want to put their money somewhere safe. So they will then put it into safe haven currencies, assets, I should say, because it's not always currencies. So, excuse me, what are the safe haven assets? Currencies is GPY, NZD, Swiss franc, USD is also, but that is something for another time, and gold, right? Gold, silver, and so on and so forth, right? The asset part of it. So without further ado, let's move on. So, for those of you who might be watching this for the first time, I am a long-term position holder swing trader. So basically, I like to, instead of me jumping in and out of the markets every bloody day, trying to catch this move and that move, like trying to catch this from here to there, try to catch this from here to there, try to catch this from here to there, here to there. I don't bother with that shit. I just wait for these bigger moves, and some people find it boring because you can be waiting for a long fucking time, right? For this to come up to these zones, take it here, and then the overall plan is to just leave it. If it goes back up and gives you a retest, enter again. Goes back down. Look, previous support, once broken, becomes a new resistance. Comes back up, you could enter again, right? That's the whole kind of, excuse me, that's the whole basis on my method. I like to take very few trades with low risk, and I just like to let them run, right? We were in USD CAD last week in buys. I'll just show you it quickly. But it's going to be a losing trade. I'm not arsed. This one here. So look, if we look on the 4 hour time frame, let's just have a quick look here. I'll zoom in, hold on. I'll zoom in for you, don't worry, because I know the screen looks small. There we go, so we're right here. Look, prime example, small candle, large engulfing. It was in a great area. I think it was a 618 on the Fibonacci. So, and it came here, look, gave us the retest, rejection, enter, and away you go. But it just came back and it's going to stop us out. It's absolutely fine, right? So, if you ever have a losing trade, it's always good to go, why was it a losing trade? Did I do anything wrong, right? And when we look back on this trade, there's absolutely nothing that we did that was wrong, right? I would take this trade again tomorrow if it presented itself on a different pair and I looked on the H4 and I saw this setup, I would take the exact same trade all over again. Excuse me. So we didn't do anything wrong. It's just very simply a losing trade, and that's what happens, right? So if we come across to, let's see, I think it's the weekly time frame. So my next area now is here. When this market hits here, I'm going to be looking for buys again, right? Because the US economy blows the Canadian economy out in the fucking water. So obviously you need to keep an eye on this area here because it is a previous low in support. I will keep my eye on this, but it could potentially have a liquidity grab down to this area here. Small candle, large engulfing, boom, boom. There's no, look, the last liquidity grab left all the liquidity around this zone. So many people will have, stop losses in and around this previous low. So I envision this coming down, boom. People, you'll then see a candle coming up. People will then start doing sells because they'll be like, oh, it's below the 200 EMA, it's sells. But look, it's just a liquidity grab, ignore that part, right? Sometimes that can help you. Look, above the 200 EMA, you're looking for buys. Yes, that does help at times, but sorry. But overall, when you come to this type of position, scenario, I should say, sorry, this type of scenario, the US economy blows the Canadian economy out of the fucking water. So you ain't going to be selling this, right? This is just like, this is risk off. This is what you're seeing here, risk off. This is oil from the Venezuela thing, giving the Canadian dollar that little bit of strength. It's not real strength. It's not real economic strength. It's just a little bit of strength here. It'll come back down to an area of value. We will then buy it here. Bish, bash, bosh. Stop loss will be below the previous lows. All right, that's what we're looking to buy. So like I said, it's just very simply a losing trade. It's good to review your trades. You would take that all day long again. But and then if you've done something wrong, you can say, fucked up, I shouldn't have taken that, But there's nothing that I would have fucked up with on this. I would have taken that trade all over again, okay? So, and remember when you're trading, right? Trading is a game of probabilities. There isn't anyone on the planet that knows for a fact that a trade is going to go your way. You just have to stack up the probabilities in your favor. So, fundamental strengths of the economy, technical analysis for your entry. If you've got like data from banking and so on and so forth, like Prime Market Terminal, or there's another one, I forgot the name of it, but it's quite good. If you've got data from that, these things always little additives. They help, but they're not essential, right? As long as you know fundamentals, technical analysis, and you know what you're looking for your entry point. Look, here's a prime example. Small candle, large engulfing, resistance, breaks the resistance, the previous resistance, and an area of value becomes the new support. So you're looking for buy, boom. And I did buy this. This is AUD CAD. I was in a buy on this last week. Excuse me. Where did I close it? I closed it. I actually closed it around about here. Around about this zone here. I closed it and it's just kept going. I don't think I closed it. I moved my stop loss up so it was a risk-free trade, and then it pulled back and it stopped me out, so it stopped me out in profit. But that's fine. I will be AUD. Yeah, let's see what it does there later on. Anyway, moving on. There's not much there. AUD CHF. You could look small candle, large engulfing. It's come up for a liquidity grab. Could be, but I really want to see it hit this zone here. This is just a big massive range. There's no real massive liquidity grabs here. And whenever you see me do a blue box, right, and then I've got a blue box with the green going through it, the green just tells me where the volume kicked in using the fixed range volume profile. Obviously that changes over time, but you can check it and see where it goes. It's moved down to the bottom because it's now pushing up. That's fine. But I remember when I first did this is why I put the green one in, so I remember where the main volume kicked in previously, right? Because I know it's going to change when volume comes in it, excuse me, at other areas. So I really want to see this come up here, reject this zone, and then take it for a sell, okay? AUD NZD, I did I buy this? I can't remember if I bought that. I can't remember is the honest answer. AUD, I didn't buy that. I was waiting for a pullback. We didn't really get a pullback, but AUD USD, I did buy this as well. However, I closed that around here. It was the same idea. It's not that I closed it. I would have let it run, but because I was leaving it over the weekend, what I did was I moved my stop loss up so it was at a good level to breathe, but still, you know, I was still in good profit because there's nothing worse than being in a trade for days or weeks and then you don't get a profit out of it. It's fucking horrible. So then when I did that, it pulled back, stopped me out, and away it went. But that's fine. Still a good profit, right? This one here, prime example, I was waiting for this to pull back, to be honest, and it hasn't done so. Euro AUD. So yeah, that's just it. I just don't take anything that doesn't. I wait for the market to show me what I want to see, right? And if it doesn't, then it's just like, all right. Like this, look, small candle, large engulfing, pulls back, boom, rejects this zone, away it goes. Beautiful. Small candle, large engulfing. You want to see it pull back, even just touch this zone, but it didn't really, you know, minuscule. And then away it goes. I would like to see a deeper retest, and then away it goes. And it didn't give that, so I just simply didn't take it, right? This is where, oh, excuse me. You can tell I've still got a bit of it. It's like I've got damp lungs. It's fucking horrible. This is where the discipline comes in, right? You don't want to be taking every Tom, Dick, and Harry thing that comes your way. You have to know what you're looking for in the market, right, to take it. Like you have to know what your trigger is, right? If the market does this, then I'm going to pull the trigger. Many people mark up charts and they don't take the trades because they hesitate. They'll be like, I want to see a little bit more confirmation. Oh no, in fact I want to see this. And then before they know it, the market's fucking flew and they're like, oh, I didn't take the trade. You know, you need a trigger point. You need a point in the market that you just simply say to yourself, right, when the market hits here, if the fundamentals and stuff still align, you don't think about that at the time, but you already know it in your mind. If the fundamentals are still in alignment with my trend, my uptrend or downtrend, the minute the market hits this zone, I'm taking the trade. You know, I'm taking the buy or I'm taking the sell. You need that trigger. Bang. No hesitation. Just fucking take it and go. If it's a losing trade, it's a losing trade. Don't get yourself tied up in knots about, oh, but I hope this is a winner. Don't do that. Place the trade and fuck off. You don't worry yourself. This is why I like swing trading, because I can enter the trade and I can, once I'm happy, right, boom, done. I don't need to sit here all day, you know, like a day trader or a scalper waiting for my time to close, sitting watching the market all day. Once I'm in, that's it. I've already established the amount that I'm willing to risk. I've entered the trade, my stop loss is there, my take profit's there, and I can turn off my computer and I can go about my everyday life. I don't have to sit and stress every 2 minutes. If you take a trade and you sit in front of the screen, obviously if you're a day trader you're going to have to, but if you're a swing trader, yeah, don't sit in front of the screen, because that will cause you to have emotional reactions. You'll be in profit, it'll then come back, you might not be in profit, which is perfectly normal, and then it will fucking melt because it has to come back and build up liquidity, right? There's nothing there that's just flat. There's nothing really here that I would take. That's fine. But we're in the first month of the year, guys, right? This is all perfectly normal. Excuse me. So the European region, if you like, that's 100 times stronger than the New Zealand economy. European economy, that's the word I was looking for. The European economy is 100 times stronger than the New Zealand economy. If you had £100 million in your bank right now, and you were to invest in an economy, and your options were the Eurozone or New Zealand, you aren't putting 100 million in the fucking New Zealand economy. You're gonna put that in the Eurozone, okay? This here is a consequence of risk-off sentiment, where money is getting moved, money flows, people call it. Money is flowing into risk-off assets, which is NZD, right? So let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the weekly so we don't get caught out. I mean, that's a bit low. I'd like to see this. Let's have a look. What have we got? Fib. So the Fibonacci, I like previous low to the high, or obviously if you're looking for sales, previous high to the low. And these numbers here down the side, that just tells you areas of value. You know, many people use this and be like, right, if it hits that zone, I'll take it. But they don't understand why. Oh, so why, if it hits that zone, are you taking it? Why? What's so special about that fucking zone, you know? So just to explain it to you. And I was like that. I never had a fucking clue what this was until I went through so many courses and a guy eventually explained it. And I was like, fucking hell, that makes so much sense. And the guy's a phenomenal trader. So it's areas of value. So 382 is really shit value. If the market came down, yes, it can reject here, right, and just start flying. I just wouldn't take that trade because in general, it will come back down and get deeper value, right? Because bankers don't like to overpay for anything. They don't like to. It's like buying a Rolex 2018. You'd have paid, what, 22, 25 grand for a particular make. If you go and try and buy that exact same watch now, you're paying 10 grand, you know, because they've fucking melted in value. You should be buying it now and selling it, you know, when the price goes to 22. But many people done it the other way around because they bought it when it was poor value. So 382, I never ever take a trade that goes back to 382, rejects and goes. I just ignore it. I'll wait for the next bus, right? The 500, it just says 0.5 there. Call it the 500 if you want. That's okay value. That's quite good value. It's okay. So if it comes down here, rejects here, you could take it, right? 618, right round about this zone here, I would take that. That's good value. 786 is, pardon me, is phenomenal value, right? So if I have a trade that goes back to the area of the 786 or below, that's just phenomenal value. I would take that all day long, right? So let's have a look on the daily. And within these areas, 786, I'm looking for a small candle, like this small candle, large engulfing. Or this kind of thing. Look, small candle, you see it, large engulfing, breaks away, boom, boom, boom. So it could be this zone here that it comes into. It's a 500. What else we got? We've got another one across here, small candle, large engulfing. Let's now remove this. And let's see where the volume previously kicked in. Well, it was here because I've got the green marked up, but let's see if it's changed. Come on. Sometimes it does that. You just have to do it again. Oh, come on, don't fuck me about. Right. It doesn't want to play ball today, guys. So I don't know why that is. But I've already marked it up, right? Previous, if it comes here, fantastic. So if this comes down, I might take it from here to here, just a little day trade. And I'm looking to take it from this zone here. It's not very clear in case you're looking at that and you're like, fuck, I can't see anything. Yeah, it's not very clear, this one, right? Normally you can get them, the areas, and they're like, you don't even have to use anything to mark them. They are as clear as day, like this, look. Small candle, large engulfing breakaway. This right here is an order block. See when you get a bullish, half bearish, bullish again. This here is an order block. So you could actually mark that area up as well. That's a pretty good area. I'm gonna clear this. What's that for? Euro USD. I mean, you really wouldn't want to be buying it there. Yeah, you have to wait. So if it goes like this, as it's coming up, boom, back down, retest and goes. I would buy it here, yeah, at that point. But we'll have to wait and see. GBP AUD. I already took this. I've already closed it out. As soon as it got down to here, I actually closed out at this candle here. And obviously it came down a bit further. You're never going to enter, bang on the pin. You're just never going to enter at the most optimal. Sometimes you get a lucky shot and you do, right? That's just lucky. Good on you. But don't worry if your entry's like here or whatever. You're never going to have a perfect entry, and more often than not, you're always going to leave money on the table. Like I closed here, right, and I left that money on the table. That's fine. Who cares? GBP AUD. Yeah, that's fine. I already took this, and look, as you can see here, small candle, large engulfing, breaks away, comes back for the retest, and away it goes. And we took that, right? GBP CAD. Well, I took that. I don't think I gave it in the group actually because it wasn't a great trade, but I took it on my accounts. What's this? GBP CAD. Yeah, definitely be buying that. But I mean, look, it's horrible and it's rangy, right? Definitely need a pullback. GJ. Definitely need a pullback. Let's have a look at the 4 hour and see if we've got anything coming up. I mean, this would be the ideal area here, but that's miles away, so you probably won't get that. You might get an area here. Just drag that out. There we go. Let's see what this is. Where's the fib? There we go. 786. Look, boom, bang on the 786. So that could be a beautiful area to take a trade from. Let's just see what it does. You want to wait for, an hourly rejection candle or whatever. It could still come down deeper. Let's just wait and see. But that's perfectly tradable, right? Let's see how it comes out. Excuse me. One thing is, when you're looking to take trades, right, you're looking to see, right, is there anything showing me here why I should take a trade? Now, you're also saying to yourself at the same time, just before you enter, right, is there any reason why I maybe shouldn't take this trade right now and I should wait a little bit? And the answer to that would be yes in this occasion. It's not really amazing value if you come up to the daily time frame. Look at that. It's shit, right? You're going to be buying it here. It's really shit. You want to be kind of buying it down here or down here, bare minimum. So I probably wouldn't be taking that. The last daily candle was a massive bearish candle, so you're probably going to get another pullback down to around here. Better still here, or even better still here, right? It's massively overshot from the EMA, and normally when it's overshot from the EMA, you will get a pullback down closer to the EMA, and then it'll go, which then, if you look at the EMA coming up here, it ties in to here, right? Also, fundamentally, reasons why I probably wouldn't be looking to take this trade, GJ, sorry guys, is because risk-off sentiment, right? We're in a massive risk-off sentiment right now with the whole geopolitics, okay? So I probably won't be taking that until it gets to at least here or here. GBP CHF, I'd probably be looking, I'd be looking to sell that, but I personally wouldn't take it. Look, you've got all-time lows here, right? I did have this marked up, look, previously. There we go, look, boom, boom, right? Bosh. 80% of the time, it happens every time. I didn't take this one. However, one of the guys in my group, Andreas, he took it because I give all these markups into the group, and I'm like, right, if it hits this zone, sell it. If it hits that zone, buy it, right? So Andreas did take that, so he done very well on that. GBP NZD again. Look, small candle, large engulfing, breaks away, because back up, retest that zone. You get that close just below and away it goes. Boom. Every time. So this is a potential buy area right here. Previous resistance, once broken, becomes the new support. So potentially looking to buy that. The only thing that could put you off again is the whole risk off scenario, right? Pound it's not super strong right now. It's got really good data actually, but it's just not super strong right now. There's loads of millionaires leaving the UK. That won't really affect the markets much, but it will affect things like GDP and stuff later on, right? So we have to prepare for that and plan a little bit ahead. And right now, if people start lumping their money into NZD, then you're going to get this coming up and it'll start pulling back down again, all right? So just be a little bit more cautious. You don't have to shit yourself about taking a trade. If you want to take it, just take it, but we just have to be a bit more cautious. GBP USD, same again, small candle, large engulfing, retest, reject, away it goes. It blew through this, and away we are. NZD CAD, we are in a nicey zone, but the thing is, both economies are just as bad as each other. The reason why NZD is flying here is the risk-off sentiment. People are moving their money into NZD, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, gold. People aren't moving, the Canadian dollar is not a risk-off currency / asset, right? Nobody's moving their money into Canadian dollars to keep it safe. Fucking absolutely nobody. So that's why that's flying. NZD CHF is a bit of a tricky one because both of them are risk-off currencies. So both of them are getting money, right? And you can see, look, it's not really moving. You see that? You're getting this down, you're getting this back up, you're getting this back down. So I wouldn't be touching that because both of them they're fighting against each other, right? It's just pointless. Same again, looking at NZD Japanese yen. So the difference here would have been data. Both of them would have been getting money pumped into them. The only difference that would have pushed one against the other is data, right? That's all it is. Maybe NZD data was better than Japanese at the time. What's this? NZD USD. We're in a zone now where we can potentially look to sell NZD USD. However, again, we need to wait. We need to... fucking hell, sorry guys. The USD needs to come out of this risk off, right? It really needs to come out of this risk off scenario and become stronger for us to enter it. Only this week will tell, right? Yeah, that's why I'm just going to let that run. Where are we? I just let my trades run to stop loss, guys. I don't fuck around with cutting early and blah blah blah. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I used to do it. Now I just don't, because when I look back on my trading notes, you know, my journal, I always journal. It's very, very important to journal. It helps you so much. Whenever I look back at my journal, there was so many trades that I had made them a losing trade by cutting them early, being like, oh, it's going against me, I'm just going to cut it now. And I just cut it, and it would get to a certain point, it would be nowhere near my stop loss, and then it would just fucking fly again. And I was like, fucking hell, that was a winning trade, and I just cut it early. And I noticed that many times throughout, so I just said, you know what? I'm never going to cut trades early anymore. It's either hitting my stop loss or it's hitting my take profit. That's it. Okay, so I don't fuck around. If you like doing that, that's up to you. But when I looked at my journal, it wasn't doing me any favors whatsoever. USD CHF, I wouldn't be taking that. Obviously, it sells, you know, because of risk off. But I wouldn't be. You can't sell from there, guys. There's no value to sell. You're selling at the lowest possible price, which is terrible. And you can't really buy it because, yeah, it's risk off, so you can't really buy it until the USD becomes risk on. USD Japanese again, same idea again. So I'll be looking to buy this when it gets down here. Better still down here, but I mean, look, EMA, if it comes down here, rejects off this zone, rejects off the EMA and goes, I'll be looking to buy that. Oil. Oil's coming up just now, but I wouldn't be buying it. In fact, I did buy it, actually. I bought it down here, and I closed it up here. Did I? No, I'm talking shit. I sold it. I sold it from here, and I actually closed it down here. And thank God I did, because it's now pulling back up. But I really... I just saw it because I thought, right, it's easy fucking money, you know, and I did it as a kind of scalp/day trade. But I am really wanting to see it even break past this. I want to see it retest this zone here. Then I'll take a sell and then fucking melt a Rooney. But we do have to be aware that it might just reject here and go. So we need to keep our eyes open, all right? But I would really prefer to see it retest this zone. Big liquidity grab, and then bang, away we go. And I'll be taking sells, okay? Especially now. The minute Trump starts flooding the world with Venezuelan oil, prices will plummet. They'll go well below $50. So you don't want to be buying fucking oil right now, all right? Unless you're a scalper, whatever. But if you want, I'm talking about long term, right? Gold is flying. We've got tons of gold scalps. And here's the thing, right? We've got so many gold scalps all the way up here. And with my method, you don't really need to do it. Look, small candle, large engulfing, breaks above, comes back, retest that, one trade, and you go. You know what I mean? I do prefer it. I just missed that. So instead of letting it run, I just started taking scalps because I didn't want to miss out in the trade. But I definitely won't be taking that. You need a pullback. You need a pullback before you can start buying that. Don't get FOMO. So it's going to keep flying. I believe gold is going to keep flying. But you can't buy it here, right? You need it to pull back, first of all. Let's have a look at the H4. See what we've got. Yeah, look, we've got a zone here. Small candle, large engulfing, boom, boom. I mean, it's not the best, in all honesty, but it's a fucking zone. You've got this one here as well. Let's see what happens. Silver, I believe silver is going up to 120. I'm telling you. easily. Let's just mark this. Right. Let's just put it here. I'm gonna say silver's gonna go to about 120. We need a pullback. There it is. I mean, look, you don't even need to use it. There it is. Small candle, large engulfing. Boom. Right. Let's see what it is in terms of Fibonacci. It's probably 50 or 618. Ooh, it's a 382, so that's shit. So then we can check this one down here. Let's have a look at the daily quickly. See what we've got on that. Oh, we've got. In fact, there it is right there. Look, small candle, large engulfing. So we can get rid of this. Let's see what we've got. Oh, there it is right there. Boom. Happy days. So let's see what that is. 786. Lovely jubbly. So that is how I know that this isn't my zone. Because if it comes here and goes, I ain't taking it. This is my zone. I want it so you can just mark it up to this top here. There we go. Bang. Right. So if it comes in here, I'll be taking it. Let's see, where was the... I don't know why it's not working. Oh, there we go. Look, there's where the volume kicked in, so I'm going to mark that up. So there you go. There's another confluence, right? Another indicator of mine to say that this is my zone. So I want to be buying from here. Bosh. There we go. Stop loss below here. Later when it comes. Copper will be the same, but you can always see copper's dead messy, right? Copper is always dead messy. You want to be buying copper, you don't want to be selling it, but you can't buy from up here. You can't buy at an all-time high. You need to wait for a pullback, guys. Like, there's a small candle, large engulfing. Let's see what it does. Okay, Now that is it for that technical analysis. That's as easy as it is. I'm going to fly through, excuse me, I'm going to fly through fundamentals, guys. The pairs are pretty much the same, right? I'm not going to explain everything today, so none, AUD, China, NZD. I always do those three together, as you know. Don't forget your notepad and pen. Currency strengths, strong, weak, and neutral. I've already got in neutral CHF. I've already got in weak Japanese yen. I'm going to put in NZD as well under weak, because I already know it's weak. Even if the numbers are good here, the economy's still weak. However, I know that it's showing strength because of what? Risk-off sentiment, right? And that doesn't last forever. That's always very short-term. So let's have a look. What date are we on? Yeah, it was last week. AUD 3.8, China. Bearish, bullish. Bullish, sticky, bearish, employment change, bullish for AUD, very bullish, unemployment rate bullish, so unemployment is down, bullish, employment is up, bullish, CPI quarter on quarter is bearish, don't get confused that it's green, right? I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to fly through it, guys. I fucking cover this every week. Bullish. Anything above 50, bullish. Anything below 50, bearish. Okay, so that's good. AUD is going to remain strong. NZD is going to remain weak. That's it. Next week, what we got coming up? Let's have a look. Bank holiday Monday for Australia, so bear that in mind. Credit card spending, yep, we want to see that. CPI, yep. PPI, yeah. Yes, there's a couple of things we want to see next week, okay? Now, moving on, rapid. Let's get this smashed out. Canada, I already know Canada's weak, right? So I'm just going to put that in weak right away. This is how we can fly through this. It doesn't even matter if there's good data. The economy's weak. Yep, bearish, sticky, bearish, bullish, but there's monthly sales. It's, yeah, who cares? So yeah, Canada is weak, but we already know that. Next week we've got BOC rates. They do not plan to cut rates. So if it turns out they do cut it, then it's going to be bearish. And if they increase rates, which won't happen, but if they did, then it'd be like a bullish kind of thing, a surprise, right? But yeah, Canada's weak. Moving on, rapid guys. Let's get this smash. CHF we don't even bother looking at because it's pointless looking at it from a data perspective. Sorry, we only look at it from a risk on, risk off perspective, right? So WEF, Euro, sticky, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish. So it's mixed data. That's all it is. It's mixed. You can see that. Stevie Wonder can see that is mixed. This week coming up, we've got GDP, CPI for Spain. Who cares? Germany, GDP. Yeah, we'll get GDP this week. All right, that's really the main one we'll focus on. The rest we don't care. Euro is going to remain in neutral because it is fairly neutral at the moment. It's neither here nor there. It's a good economy, but it's just not. It's not super strong or super weak. It's just holding on there, right? Sorry, I've done that. What am I doing? GBP. You see how quickly I can get through it when I don't have to explain each step? Well, when I'm doing this myself, I fly through it in 15-20 minutes. But when I'm trying to explain to you guys, it can sometimes take me, 40, 45, because I want to try and give you as much information so you can learn. HPI, bullish, bearish, sticky but bearish, bullish, sticky, bearish, bullish, but that's to be expected. Bullish, well, quite decent. I'm still keeping pound in neutral for now, right? Pound is staying in neutral, but it's a kind of mild bullish to neutral. Okay, it's more bullish than it is weak. So I'm going to keep it in neutral, but I know in my mind it's a kind of weak bullish, right? And Euro has the same kind of idea. Oh shit, sorry, I forgot to look at news, didn't I, for next week. My bad. We don't have anything. Okay, we've got fuck all next week for pound. Bank of Japan last week. See, I mean, bearish, bullish, same, right? So they've increased rates. They kept rates same, sorry. Yeah, bullshit. As I said, the Japanese economy's fucked. So when you're seeing it given that strength, it's risk off. I actually told you that 2 weeks ago before the markets even moved, right? If you go and watch my last YouTube video, I didn't make a YouTube last week, so go and watch the one from 2 weeks ago. You'll see that I said all of that, and Japanese yen, Swiss franc, NZD, they hadn't given any strength yet, right? And it's just, this is what moves the markets. Once you understand what moves the markets, you can line yourself up. SPI next week. SPI, I want to see that. CPI, yeah, unemployment, yeah. Okay, so we've got a fair bit of news next week we want to see for Japanese yen, but for me it's still weak. Let's have a look at USD. Bearish, bullish. Slightly bullish, but it came in better than expected. Slightly bearish, but it came in better than expected, so it might give you a little bullish effect, right? But as you can see, it's a little bit worse than before, but it came in much better. So employment's still quite well. Even though it's unemployment, it means employment is still going quite well. There aren't a lot of people losing their jobs, is what that essentially means, right? Final GDP, sticky, bullish, sticky, bearish, bullish, sticky, bullish. Don't be fooled that it's red. It's because, look, they thought it was going to come in at 0.4. It was previously 0.1, it's 0.3, so it's bullish, came in better. Sticky, bullish. I don't care. Bullish, 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 bearish, bearish, bearish. Mixed data, right? It's mixed data. But the USD is a powerhouse, so it is staying in strong for me. Because it is strong overall, especially with Trump pulling all these deals out his arse. This week, look, Trump speaks, fucking hell. It's like, oh God, what's he going to say now? I like him, but it's like, what the fuck is he going to say now? You know what I mean? Federal funds rate, they think they're going to keep rates the same. But you have to be careful with this, because remember, there's a lot of talk. Trump wants rates brought down. So we have to be careful with this. If they throw in a surprise rate cut at 350 or 325, it's going to have a huge bearish effect on the USD, right? Because it's a surprise, it's a shock. People weren't anticipating it. But if it comes in at 375, yeah, nothing's going to happen. Unemployment claims, trade balance, core PPI. Yeah, we've got a fair bit of news next week that we want to see on USD. Okay, so currency strengths. I've got AUD, USD strong, weak Japanese yen, New Zealand CAD, and neutral CHF, Euro, GBP. Okay, that is us, guys. I hope you find this video useful. I'm going to shoot now because it's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night and I want to spend time with my family. I hope these videos help you. If they do, share them with a friend. If you would like to come across on our mentorship, where we give all these trades, here you go, look. We give all of our trades here, and that was me earlier on. I mean, remember I was saying to you I was scalping gold, and there's a 627 pip. Sorry, a 62. That's points. Sorry, that's 62 pips. My bad. I forgot that's points, not pips. But yeah, look, we give all this. All right, so if you want to come join us, look, here we go. Hello, come and join us. The link will be below the description. Okay, if you want a free 7 days, let me know, and I'll give you free 7 days access. Let me know in the comments, and I will post the link to the comments. All right. You can also follow us on here. I'm going to show you the Trading Guys Instagram, because it's easier for you to contact us on Instagram. We don't monitor. Shit, wrong one. We don't monitor, YouTube all the time. However, we are constantly on Instagram. It's this one right here. The Trading Guys, and we are trademarked as the Trading Guys, okay? So you're probably best, if you want a 7-day free trial, contact us on the Trading Guys, and then we'll hook you up, all right? I'm Ryan Mack, this is Trading Guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful for you, and much love. Have a good week. Don't over trade. Don't over risk. Don't get fucking FOMO. If your setup plays out, take it instantly. Don't sit humming and hawing. And if your setup doesn't show itself, then just don't take it. All right? Stay safe.